is Jared Wellman. I'm an instructor at the Bernardo Freire Academy, and I'm here with my friend Adam, and today we're going to go over a really awesome setup from Closed Guard that sets up to control and a good finish, basically using the lapel for some chokes. So check it out. I'm going to start in Closed Guard. This is a basic position. Oftentimes we go to sleeve grips, cross collar, or something like this, but from here, if I have a kind of a stalled out game where I'm trying to pull them down, maybe they posture back up, but they're not getting out of my guard, or I want some other options, I want to look at this top lapel here. Now right now, it's pretty tight. Sometimes during a match it might come loose, but I want to grip it here and pull it out. The lower I get, the easier. So whether I go over his hand or underneath, it doesn't matter. But once I'm here, it's hard to pull out if my guard's tight. So what I'm going to do is extend my feet as I pull just to get it loose. From here, I might take a little bit of time and find the end of the lapel. Now, the way I'm going to get it around under this arm and behind his back is kind of interesting. If I try to drive it underneath him, he'll usually block with his elbow, right? Because he kind of knows it's coming. So what I like to do is kind of trickery. It doesn't really do anything, but I pass it over his arm, and as I get here, he'll tend to pull his arm back. Now right here, as he does that, right, he clears it. He actually cleared it for me. I use my legs, and I'm going to pull to connect. So I'll show that one more time. So one more time, it's like this. We start here. You can do it right hand or left. It doesn't really matter. But I open my legs, pull it out. Now I'm kind of walking down to the end here, okay? I pull it over his arm. As he pulls back, look, I lock right in there. Now when I get to this point, I want to get the end from my right hand passed to my left, and I want to chalk up this hand as deep as I can. So don't just grab here. There's like a foot of space. If he sits up right now, yeah, I'll probably lose the grip. But if I'm passing and I get deep, now he goes up, look, I can hold him with the one hand. So that's my first starting point. So let's do this one more time. I don't have to do it fast. If I'm here and we're fighting like this, I'll do my usual collar and sleeve or my double sleeve. At any point he kind of sits up and we're pausing, I'll take this, open and get it loose. Now I'm getting all set up. I'll make sure I get it as tight as I can here. I pass, he starts clearing his arm, I thank him for that gift, and now I'm here. Now what I'm going to look to do for control, I can use one hand. A lot of times people will push up. As they push up, look, it creates space where I can come through. So what I want to make sure is on the end of the lapel, I have enough hand for my other hand to grip. So I can't be on the end, because then when I reach through, I have nothing. So as I'm holding here, I can see my workspace. I'm nice and tight like this over the shoulder. He starts pushing, makes that space, and I grip here. Now I've got 2-on-1. So go ahead and posture up. As he postures up, it's really hard, and I can even help by pushing this way. So now that I'm here, I'm tight. He's going to try to drive against me. I'm keeping my elbows in. When I feel a little pause, I lift over the head, and I'm already in here for a quick choke. Now, sometimes it's tough because I'm so tight, I might lift over the head and slide a little bit. So now I've got more space to play with. Or, if I'm holding here, I can just reach. I reach over the top, I grip, and pull. So it sets up a lot of control and a couple chokes. So we'll go over it one more time, we'll show a few angles. Real easy. We're here, I'm getting stalled out, right? If he's fast moving, trying to stand up, and I start playing around with this lapel, he keeps going, he stands up, and all of a sudden I'm here. That's not where I want to be. So if he starts standing up, I'm going to fight posture, I'm going to work different grips. But when we kind of stall out a little bit, he's looking at me, I'm looking at him, and we're both tired, this is a good time. Get this out, I open, find my end. Look how I'm getting it tight. So now he's paying attention to this rather than just defending and getting out of my guard. I'll pass it over, he pulls back. Look, I use my legs, and I pass it. Now I'm really strong. I chalk up a little bit, there's my space, and I wait for him to kind of push. As he pushes, I turn underneath, and I grip. Now I've got 2-on-1. Notice how, when we're sitting here, I'm almost center line. I use this in my legs to push him across, so he's offline. So now I can clear over his head, and I get a tight squeeze. Or if I'm here and I'm just not having luck, or as I'm going, maybe his left hand, can you reach my bicep? Right, it chalks here. I can't get it over his head. I'll pull him down, look, big wave. So now it's really hard. Try to stop this. It's really hard. My elbow comes here. I slide it down, find a little bit of the gi, and finish. So the finish is pretty tight, and the control to get there is really good. So look for me, let's start nice and tight, right? So we're here like this. We're fighting control. So as I reach this, I pull towards me and extend just to get that little bit of fabric. Now I chalk up and get as far as I can. If I try to pass it under his elbow, people do this all day, and then sometimes they're gripping. It's not where I want to be. I'll pass it over. He clears. It's such an interesting movement. If I slow that right down, I pass it over here. Look how it's in my left hand. As he pulls his hand back, I pass. I've already got the under, I clear. Right here, I'm setting up to come on the far side of his head, and I yank it. Why it works is you only got one hand here. So try to keep your posture. Look, it's hard, but I'm pushing, right? So I want to make sure I do this all in one movement. I push it over, it clears, boom, and there's my grip. Now I'm tight. I have a little bit of space, he starts pushing up. I cut my angle, find the end. I push this way, I push hard, clear over the head, and finish. Or if I can't get it or he's blocking my arm, I pull him to me, get my elbow behind his head. So look, it's really hard for him to block, and now I'm pulling in tight. Find some fabric here, whether it's the lapel or his collar, and I'm tight. So just a really easy control. It takes a little bit of work to get through, to get this lapel all the way out and behind the back, but you're controlling that shoulder. It makes it really hard to posture. It slows down them getting out of your closed guard, and it gives them a lot less of options to work for and how to defend what you're doing from the bottom. So we did a couple chokes from here, but as they're reaching, don't forget that there's an arm bar. If they put one arm back, we shoot for the triangle and we can expand to our other submissions. So try it out.